Okay, good evening out there. I'm doing this video. This is for Mr. Bigford and also for anybody at DeVars Property Management who is curious on the steps and everything that's going on. This part is a little bit difficult for me to explain to everyone, so I couldn't get the samples that I wanted to show you guys. They're hard to obtain. So this is something different, but I'm willing to go to the extreme to prove my point here. So what I'm ready to show you here in these pictures is what I'm getting at. Okay, we want to start out with the first one. The first one is just showing you something simple. No, I'm not the best artist, so hey, it is what it is. But this here would be your gutters, of course, you know, and behind your gutters would be your flashing, as you know, and then behind your flashing is the brick wall, which this flashing tucks over that brick wall, and these gutters sitting in front of that. And what I'm showing you here is no drip edge. The drip edge, for those who don't know what drip edge is, it's a strip of metal that we install on roofs that goes over into, you know, your gutter. It gives you that extra inch, you know, of runoff into the gutters to make sure that it's definitely getting to the gutters, and it also seals down the edge of that roof. So that's something that's missing there, and as you see in the pictures that I took, you will also see that as well. Okay, like I said, just bear with me. It's not the best drawings, but hey, just bear with me. Okay, so here in this one, I'm just briefly going over with you. That's your rubber membrane. Now just use your imagination. This is your rubber membrane. Up under here, these little bars that you're seeing, that's your insulation. It's a real foamy insulation. There's nothing spectacular about it, but that's your insulation. Up under that insulation is your metal roof. That's here. Okay? This is the roof that from the inside of the building, if you remove those ceiling tiles and everything, this is what you will see. This is a corrugated roof, and what I mean by corrugated is because of the gaps that's in there. And what I'm trying to show you guys is, if you was to use your imagination with me, if this rubber membrane was laying flat down onto the insulation, which is laying flat down onto that metal, but it's in the wind, it's flapping in the wind, with wind and rain coming from that side, where those gutters meet, where that flashing is bad, where those gutters are bad, and it's coming in. What I'm trying to show you is from a side point of view that this is how the rain would travel. So yeah, you might think, oh well, if you're just saying the damage is at the back of the building, but why are we still getting leaks a little further up towards the middle of the building? Well, this is what I'm trying to show you. If the rain is getting in there, all it's doing is following the course. It's filling up that corrugated gap, it's filling up that corrugated gap, it's filling up that one. That's why I can be there on that job site a good 30-40 minutes to an hour when it's raining real good and hard and nobody's getting a drop. And then maybe an hour or two after I left, they're getting rain. And that's because it took a while before this rain to work its way to wherever their last weakest point was, where they were getting the original drips, and now it's returning. So in order for me to make this work, is what I'm saying to you clearly, is we have to seal all these gaps. We have to remove all your gutters, remove the flashing. We want to seal this. We want this down tight packed. We want it down tight packed. We want to put, like I said, a new drip edge. We want to put new flashing across where the flashing needs to be. And we want to put those gutters there. We're also going to remove some of these blocks here because, as I was telling you, the roof and the metal and the gutters meet perfectly together. They meet perfectly. And that roof has to be over a foot deep. So that's a foot down into that brick, that masonry brick wall. And here, where the metal meets and the gutter meets, you have some broken block. So what we have to do is we have to go in there and remove those broken blocks as we can. We can, you know, mortar in whatever we need to mortar in, but what I'm getting at is it's the process of what we have to do to get this thing going, how we have to dismantle this thing to get it going, to assure that no more water is getting up under that membrane, because as far as that's all we have. This process is a necessary process. Now, reason why you will see in my contract. The only other reason why that I'm sitting here telling you we're going to coat the whole wall and everything. I have dozens of pictures which you guys will get. Each one of those pictures is self-explanatory. I mean, from the mold that's on the wall to the water that's seeping into the wall to the crack foundation in the corners. What we're trying to do here, we're trying to save your wall. This price that's on the bottom of this contract is a very reasonable price. I know it's very reasonable. I did my homework on every single thing. I'm presenting you with everything. I have the guys to do it. We're ready to roll as soon as the ball is ready to roll. But like I said, as you will see in the contract, as you will read the contract, these steps has to be taken. My roof system is working. It's working. But until this final step is followed, it's not 100%. I'm still getting rain in, and it's nowhere near as bad as what it was. And you can ask all your tenants; they'll tell you it's nowhere near as bad. It's mainly at the back, just like what I pretty much figured. But I have to get behind those gutters. I have to get behind that metal. I have to get to those bricks. I have to get to what I have to get to fix this at hand. So that's what I'm proposing to you guys. That's why I made this video. I'm sorry for taking up your time. I hope that you understand what I was doing here and what I was trying to show you. Like I said, once again, it's just me showing you that the water can get in, and this insulation is nothing. It is nothing. It's just insulation. So yes, it doesn't catch water. It will let the water leak, but it will also feed the water from this piece of insulation to that piece of insulation to that piece of insulation, and it will drip right down into this corrugated roof. And as the water sits down, it's eventually working its way to the next one and working its way to the next one, and this is consistently on through the roof. And that's what I'm trying to show you here. Like I said, I tried everything to get the proper way of showing you, but I said, hey, give me a couple crayons and some paper, and maybe we can draw this thing out and give them some type of idea. So thank you for your patience and for dealing with me, and I hope that you got a clear understanding on what I'm trying to do here. Thank you.